Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about one of the most interesting coins from the 1960s, the 1966 Washington quarter. You may have seen stories or videos online claiming that some of these coins are worth tens of thousands of dollars, even up to $23,000 for a single coin. That sounds amazing, right? But the truth is that while most 1966 quarters are common and worth only face value, a few special examples can really be worth that much depending on condition, grade, or rare minting errors. In this video, we're going to explore the history of this coin, how to identify the rare versions, and the real values, from just 25 cents all the way up to $23,000. The year 1966 was a unique time in U.S. coinage history. Just 1 year earlier, the U.S. Mint had stopped using silver in quarters, switching instead to a copper-nickel-clad composition. That means the 1966 quarter contains no silver. During this time, the Mint was also dealing with coin shortages, so from 1965 through 1967, they decided to remove all Mint marks from coins. Because of that, every 1966 quarter has no Mint mark, even though they were made in multiple mints. So if your 1966 quarter doesn't have a Mint mark, don't worry, that's completely normal. On the front of the coin, you'll see the familiar portrait of George Washington designed by John Flanagan. On the back, there's an eagle with its wings spread, holding arrows and olive branches. The design was used for decades, so it's one of the most recognizable coins in U.S. history. The 1966 quarter weighs about 5.67 grams and is made of copper and nickel bonded to a pure copper core. Because there's no silver content, most 1966 quarters are only worth their face value unless they're in excellent condition or have an error. The U.S. Mint made over 821 million 1966 quarters, which means there are still plenty of them out there. If you find one in your change, chances are it's worth 25 cents. But the story doesn't end there. Some of these coins, especially those in mint condition or with rare errors, can be worth much more. Coins that have been used in circulation, those that look dull, scratched, or worn, are called circulated coins. Circulated 1966 quarters are worth between 25 cents and $1 at most. But if your coin still looks shiny and new, it might be considered uncirculated. Uncirculated coins can be worth between $2 and $10 depending on how clean, bright, and mark-free they appear. Now let's talk about what makes some 1966 quarters valuable. Collectors pay the most for coins that are in top condition, especially those certified by professional grading services like pcgs or NGC. A regular 1966 quarter graded mint state 65, which means it's nearly perfect, can be worth around $20 to $70. Coins graded MS-67 or MS-68 are extremely rare and can bring in hundreds or even thousands of dollars. In fact, a 1966 quarter graded MS-68 has sold at auction for over $20,000, with one record example reaching about $23,000. That's the kind of coin collectors dream about finding. Besides condition, there are also special error coins that make some 1966 quarters valuable. One type of error is called a double die, which happens when the coin design is struck twice, causing the letters or numbers to appear doubled. If you notice doubling on "Liberty in God We Trust" or other parts of the coin, you might have one of these errors. A strong double die example in good condition can be worth several $100s or even more. Another error that can raise value is an off-center strike, where the design is not properly centered. Slightly off-center coins might be worth around $50 to $100, but if the strike is dramatically off, it could reach $500 or more, especially if the date is still visible. Some 1966 quarters were also struck on the wrong planchet, meaning the metal blank intended for another coin was used by mistake. For example, a 1966 quarter accidentally struck on a dime or cent planchet is smaller and lighter than normal. These errors can bring values from a few $100s up to several thousand depending on the exact type and condition. There are even reports of extremely rare off-metal errors, where a 1966 quarter was struck on a silver planchet, similar to the older 90% silver quarters. These are exceptionally rare and can reach values close to $10,000 or more if authenticated. Collectors also look for coins from the 1966 Special Mint set, often called SMS coins. Because the Mint didn't issue proof sets in 1965, 1966, or 1967, they made Special Mint sets instead. These coins have a satin-like finish and were struck with extra care. A 1966 Special Mint set quarter in perfect condition, graded SP67 or SP68, can be worth from $30 to several $100s. An ultra-high-grade example might even bring over $1,000 at auction, depending on demand and certification. When examining your 1966 quarter, here are a few tips. First, check the edge of the coin. A normal 1966 quarter should have a visible copper stripe along the edge, which is the copper core showing through. If it looks solid silver, weigh it on a precise scale. A regular 1966 quarter weighs about 5.67 grams, but a silver one would weigh around 6.25 grams. If your coin is heavier and appears silver all the way through, it might be a rare mint error struck on a leftover silver planchet. In that case, definitely get it checked by a professional coin dealer or grading company. Next, use a magnifying glass to look closely at the details. Pay attention to the letters, numbers, and edges for signs of doubling, extra metal, or other unusual features. Any irregularity could mean you have an error coin worth more than face value. If you think your coin might be valuable, never clean it. Cleaning can scratch the surface and reduce the coin's value significantly. Instead, handle it carefully by the edges and store it in a soft coin holder or plastic sleeve to protect it. If you want to know the exact value of your coin, consider sending it to a grading service like pcgs or NGC. They can professionally evaluate its condition, verify any errors, and give it a certified grade. Coins that are graded and sealed in official holders often sell for much more than ungraded ones, especially if they reach high mint state grades like MS67 or MS68. Let's review the possible values. A circulated 1966 quarter is worth 25 cents to $1. An uncirculated one ranges from $2 to $10. A special mint set coin might bring $5 to $30, and a high-grade SMS quarter could be worth several $100s. Error coins like double dies or off-center strikes can range from $100 to $1,000 or more depending on the strength of the error and the condition. A wrong planchet error can fetch between $2,000 and $10,000. And finally, the rarest 1966 quarters, those struck on a silver planchet or graded in near-perfect MS68 condition, can sell for as much as $20,000 to $23,000. So, while most 1966 quarters are common and only worth their face value, there are a few out there that can be worth thousands. It all depends on the coin's condition, any rare minting errors, and whether it has been professionally graded. These coins are a fascinating part of American history, marking the transition from silver to clad coinage. They remind us of a changing time in the U.S. Mint when production methods and materials were evolving. Next time you come across a 1966 quarter in your change, don't just spend it right away. Take a closer look. It might just be one of those rare and valuable pieces that collectors are looking for. If you think you have something special, have it authenticated before you sell it. You never know, your quarter could be one of the few worth thousands, maybe even close to $23,000. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope this helped you understand the true value of the 1966 Washington quarter, and what to look for. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share it with your friends who love coins. And if you have a 1966 quarter, tell us in the comments, maybe yours could be one of the valuable ones. Take care, everyone, and happy coin collecting.